breakthroughs, dropping like it's hot. I make it dreams and make them multiply. Hey, introduce them to the guys. Check him out. Yo, it's better than yours. Feeling for sure. Oh, if this world was mine. I got the chat on the other side. What up, people? Top of the do say. Trying to make sure this is live real quick. Okay, my terrible singing on. Okay, so the audio, right? Alright, we finna head straight into it because I'm on a little bit of a time frame here. So, we had a good show the other day. Shout out to everybody that came through, supported your boy, hit the like button. I hope you hit the like button some more today. Hope you follow me on Twitter, X, however you want to call it. Like, subscribe on YouTube, Double O Melo, X, Double O Melo, whatever. All right, we done with that. I'm working on my intros because I have to transfer everything over from my old drive to this drive. So my old intros are not on here. I'm probably gonna bring out some new ones. Ain't no telling, but we're gonna do this for now. I'm at the crib, so I want to talk about or deep dive further into what I was talking about, the whole situation with BYD and the China automotive cars, vehicles that's coming to America's. Uh, I don't know, like an ETA or whatever the case may be, but long story short, as the traditional homegrown vehicles that have been gracing the U.S. for years and decades phase out or they belly under, this is one of the companies that I think will be surpassing or either placing themselves to be a major contender in the future of automotive and vehicles. It's called BYD. This is an electric company from China. They do all type of cars. Their competitor, of course, is Tesla and other EV vehicles. But they do boats. They do buses, public transportations. They do SUVs, trucks, sedans, etc. List goes on, and they're well known. And what they do that I've learned is they call a EV swap, where let's just say some people think that the issue with EVs is the battery warranty or the battery dying out quickly and need to be repaired, and it's an very expensive price or price tag to repair or fix a lithium battery or I think they use lithium or cell batteries for the EV cars, vehicles. Well, it's a company in China that actually swipes out the chassis, where they actually remove the entire battery from the bottom of the car, and they have these type of like car wash stations, and you bring your vehicle in, and they completely swap out the battery, the bottom end of your car, with a whole new battery, and then you off on your way. It's kind of like a oil change for EV cars, but its focus is on the batteries. So I'm just going off of the story or the video that we had yesterday, and I seen some more information about BYD and what's the battle between them and Tesla. This information comes from CNBC, so give them their credit like always, because we're not trying to steal people content. And let's get to it. And also, I want to talk about this robot that just It's called a Moxie. I don't know if you heard of it, but Moxie was a very popular robot. I think he was first of his kind. If not, he was one of the first to introduce AI robots or just robot in general that that was advertised to kids, and it was like having a little buddy, like my buddy. I remember when I was younger, I used to have a Teddy Ruskin. You can put the tape in the back. He play all the music and the hits, and they had a pre-recorded tape, and it had his voice, all that, etc. Well, they expanded it further, gave your kids an actual robot, and after not even, I want to say not even 2 years, maybe 3 years, they're already obsolete and they're calling it quits. I want to talk about that and give my take on that also. So let's get into the BYD in Chicago, China versus Tesla in the EV market on the race of being the most dominant in EV. Like I told you before, like I've been talking about, like the previous conversation, um, China is right now pushing products or manufacturing products of theirs in Mexico. So they ship to Mexico, go to Mexico's docks, stations, and ports, import their products and devices that they need to be manufactured and built with the material. They build it in Mexico, and then they're on their way to proceeding to ship it out to the U.S. for, to sell. And this is one of the things that I feel is going to disrupt the port system and the union strike that's coming up at the beginning of the year of Orange Man's enrollment in election as the president of the United States. His tackle with the union and their battle against EV and automation. Um, I remember Andrew Luck when he was on the Breakfast Club, unfortunately, but he had a good interview on the Breakfast Club, and he spoke about how they did an experiment or like a meeting with union workers in a particular mine. I don't know which mine it was. You got to go back and check it out, the Andrew Luck video. And he spoke upon how they presented to the individuals and they said, hey, um, AI is on the way and robots are coming in rapidly. And what we want to do is for you guys, I'm just paraphrasing, but he said what we want to do for you guys would be, we understand how loyal and dedicated and how you guys are the backbone of society, of how the United States run, just period in general. So what we want to do is we want to give y'all extended training. He said we want to take you guys out, give you guys a take you to take these courses and train you into how to work and manufacture and be cohesive with the AI bots and the machinery, the autonomous machinery that's coming for the future, because we're going to have cranes, heavy dock stations, etc. Pretty much everything that you guys are using are going to be autonomous. And instead of throwing you guys to the side, we want to actually train you guys firsthand experience, because you've already know this field of line of work. We want y'all to be the first to be prepared for what's coming in the future. And those union reps told him, again, I'm paraphrasing what he said. He said, we're not taking any classes, and if you do that, we're going on complete massive strike, and the U.S. will like cease to exist when it comes to transporting goods and services, because all of our goods and services are coming from other countries. Even the stuff that we can manufacture in-house is still being built outward, and the ports are the ones that load it up on the trucks to extend it and get it to its destination. So I always looked at that video like it was very interesting. I was always like, here we go again. It was the telltale signs of how the old people are probably going to ruin the future because they don't ever want to evolve with the times of what's going on. And much as you try to fight it, it's happening. It's happening very fast, very rapid. Um, I'm pretty sure no one ever thought that one day we would have people that don't even want to grocery shop anymore. Like, people will not physically go into the store and grab their produces and their items for their houses. Instead, they'll be sitting there in a car waiting for somebody to deliver their purchases. I'm pretty sure at one point I remember vividly when we started doing online shopping, everybody and their mother was against it. The younger people wasn't, but the older people was like, I'm not sharing my information online. They gonna steal my credit card information. How I know they gonna send me the right product if I'm not physically there to get it. I don't wanna wait umpteen days for my item to get here when I could just get in my car and go get it. Every excuse in the book. You look at today's now, people are literally waiting for their box to deliver at their houses. Amazon to make themselves $1 billion, almost $1 trillion company off of delivering goods and services to the doorstep. And autonomous robots, AI, are coming. They're here. Elon Musk have shown them. We're probably gonna do another video on that just to like catch up with current events when I can get a chance. But it's here. And he's a far along advanced than what we think they are when it comes to AI and the robots, just in general. And China and Tesla isn't the only one that's making AI robots. China is rapidly doing their thing also. I think Kai Cenat did a stream. He did a marathon stream where he had a AI robot just rolling around in his house, in the mansion. And this was just recently. So they had another video of Kim Kardashian, which that's a whole nother subject. But Kim Kardashian had the Tesla, the driveless Tesla, like it didn't have a steering wheel. They was trying to use this like taxi services and stuff like that. But she had that in the robot. She had the AI robot, and they was doing dances and cha-cha slide and all that good stuff. So pretty much what I'm saying is, it's out of the experiment idea steps, and this is actually to the point where we are physically seeing them, and they're going to probably most likely be in our homes. You're going to see individuals making content with their robot being outside, things of that nature. So it's here, and it's either one, you adjust to the times and you figure out your place on how to position yourself to either be successful and make money off of it, or be a consumer of it financially, or you just going to be left in the dust, wondering where do you exist in life, because that's where it's about to go, and that's how things are operating right now. So let's get into this video, man. I'm done rambling. Hope y'all like what I had to say.
In 2023, BYD produced more than 3 million new energy vehicles.
BYD has grown into this powerhouse. You look at the monthly rankings, they're always at the top.
The Americans and the Europeans produce cars that have inferior software and don't use the latest chip.
GM sales are down by more than 50%, Ford's down by more than 60%, and Jeep has actually gone bankrupt in China and had to get out.
President Biden slapped Chinese automakers with stiff tariffs, effectively doubling the price of a Chinese export EV. Donald Trump pledged to place a 100% duty on any car made in Mexico by a Chinese company.
Now, a lot of people have been giving Trump slack. I said his name. Jesus. A lot of people have been giving Orange Man slack about this tariff situation. And I'm just going to talk about it in particular of this case and scenario right now, and why it's important to even do this with the tariffs. Again, this is a a company outside of the United States. So when they're making profit off of the EVs, which they are, a lot of our companies like Dodge, I think they just stopped making gas cars. A lot of people are starting to convert over to the electrical vehicles, hybrids. So the traditional gas vehicles are going away. One, two. In society, like once you hit a certain age, in particular, like 16 or above, it's two things in life that you're going to need, or you should have, outside of having a job, of course. One, a home, somewhere, a roof over your head, regardless if living with someone, independent living. It's a group of y'all that pay, I don't know, $500 a month so y'all can live in a mansion or a condo. Whatever the case may be, you need a roof over your head to lay down and, do your daily activities in. And two, transportation. Either you are living in a place where it's a rural area and they don't have public transportation, so you need a vehicle, or you live in a public area and you taking public transportation as an option. Two things in life that you're going to need: to travel, place to leave lay your head. So knowing that and knowing how much money is generated from vehicles, people buying cars left and right, impulse buying, it would be dumb for the U.S. to not tariff or try to prevent this onslaught that's about to come, in the sense of how not Tesla, but China is very advanced when it comes to the vehicles. Like if I show y'all some of these vehicles that China have or that's rolling off of the market, like Lucid Motors, BYD, it's like a couple of them. It's like well over 5-10 of these companies, and they are blowing Tesla out the water. Don't get it wrong. Tesla has their advantage is one, they're U.S. A U.S. made EV vehicle, and then two, Tesla patented his charging stations. So the charging stations in the U.S. have to go through Tesla to charge third-party vehicles outside of Tesla. So all of the charging stations, they can take the Ford vehicles and the Hondas and etc. They can use the Tesla charge stations for that. So it has an advantage, but not a serious advantage, in the sense of when it comes to comparing contrasts, which they're about to do right now. It's a whole lot more features in a Chinese electric vehicle than an American vehicle. I done seen jokers have ice holders in the back seat, theater recliner chairs as the driver's seats, bucket seats, complete dashboards, nothing but screens, LED OLED screens, and then turn around, you look at the price, they talking about $23,000 for the car, $30,000. Like the features that's in a Chinese car, the massive amount of features. They got a selfie camera, like you can take a selfie with your vehicle light. So it's, the rearview mirrors and stuff. So it's like, fam, you getting all of these features like a luxury vehicle, and it's like $20,000-$30,000 compared to a Tesla. To even get all of its full features of a Tesla, you're going to spend about $60,000-$70,000. That's on the low end. Like that's you getting like the Model S or something, or the smaller version. They ain't the Model Y, the SUV version with all the bells and whistles. You're spending a good $70,000-$80,000 on a Tesla with all the bells and whistles, whereas with a Chinese vehicle, you getting all those features and some plus more for under like $30,000. For the best number better, I'll say 40 bands, 40 to 50. I'll say 50,000. Under 50,000, and you getting all of the luxury features of what Tesla have and some and more. What's good, King Reaper? How you doing, bro? That's insane. So you got to think, if I'm getting more bang for my buck, what vehicle would you really go? Are you going to go with the name because it's trending and it's popular and people respect it? Or you're going to go with a brand of a vehicle that isn't known? A lot of people don't have it, but you have crazy features in that car. Like, you could almost live in the vehicle.
Automakers are going to come here eventually, and they're going to do it regardless of if there's a tariff or not.
In the world of electric vehicles, Tesla has reigned supreme, but its days as top dog may be numbered. In China, the world's largest EV market, it's been losing ground to domestic automakers as a ruthless price war has inflamed an already competitive market.
If Tesla had not had price cuts of 20 to 30%, they probably would have actually had sales drop last year.
And there's one car maker in particular that has given Tesla a run for its money. Warren Buffett-backed BYD. The Chinese automaker logged 2.4 million new car insurance registrations in 2023, making it the top brand in China with a market share of 11%.
I don't think anywhere in the history of the automobile.
Wait, I didn't know Warren Buffett backs this company. Oh my God, I wish I could get some shares in this. There's another company too called Lucid Motor. They didn't sell a lot of vehicles. They sold a nice amount of vehicles, very high-end luxury vehicle. But they got some of the most, they backing, or the people that's backing them is so, they got so much money. It's like $1 trillion. I think Dubai is actually backing that company. And they got some of the most wealthiest oil tycoons out there backing the company where they can make a loss to build up for the future. That's how the company come. Like, you know, your 5 to 10 year plan. Like, hey, we're gonna have a loss, but within 5 to 10 years, once gas cars are completely obsolete and EV vehicles are dominant, we're going to come in and take over and already establish ourselves as a brand, because we building our brand. That's why I say it takes a long time to build a brand. This ain't something that you do overnight. You got to get and right now, like when it comes to advertisement and promotion, we're in like a real like limbo type of atmosphere, in the sense of the traditional way of advertising and promoting ain't the same anymore. Like, does it work? Yeah. You see what like I said, Kai Cenat and like Kim Kardashian just did by priming the people and showing them the devices now. So when they become publicly open, you're gonna start seeing more celebrities do it also. But when they come public and people look for it, they're gonna be like, oh, I want one now too. I want one too. Let me get one. Because I seen XYZ celebrity or XYZ news company talk about this vehicle in high regards. So that's what they're doing right now. They're just priming the mind for people to be conditioned to want to even entertain getting an electrical vehicle. Because outside of like the hardcore like drag race drivers, they not for this at all. They like, man, I remember when they showed that electric Charger, Dodge Charger, and then it had the pipes on there, and they tried to make like the rimming of the engine sound, and it just, they was upset seeing that. Like, no one's buying it, and that car clearly is not being bought at all. Mustang gang, what's good, brother? EVs are too expensive. ATM, it is, but. See, that's the thing too, though. That's why I was speaking about this BYD company and just China companies in general. Their prices are way less, more affordable than a Tesla. If I wanted to get a nice, stylish Tesla with all the bells and whistles, the self-driving, the autonomous driving, if I wanted to get certain seats and I'm coming out certain horsepower to last longer with the battery. I'm coming out like $70,000-$80,000. Whereas I seen a Chinese vehicle that did way more than what Tesla does, feature wise, battery wise, from what they claim. Also, these people be lying sometimes for what they claim, and they only wanted like 20,000-30,000 for that vehicle. And these are the vehicles, the type of vehicles that China are making and manufacturing in Mexico to be shipped into America to be sold out here. That's one of the reasons why I think China was buying land in U.S. soil, because they're finna start rolling out their own like dealerships and stuff like that to start positioning themselves as a brand that's also in American soil, like sold on American soil, but just manufactured in Mexico. So yeah, it's all about positioning, man. Strategy. These people
Has any company enjoyed
not
such
be
explosive
playing.
growth in such a short period of time?
BYD has grown into this powerhouse. You look at the monthly rankings, they're always at the top.
In 2023, BYD produced more than 3 million
3
new energy
million?
vehicles, which include plug-in hybrids and battery electrics, surpassing Tesla's production of 1.84 million cars.
BYD is so much ahead of Tesla in China. It's
Seriously by their
Oh
rivals.
snap!
It used to be that
Hold on, that's
foreign
my
brands
home. Go
had
back.
the majority of the market share in China. Now it's Chinese brands. And when you
Hold
B
on.
is so much.
3 million new energy
Hold on, I
vehicles,
gotta go back
which
to him.
include plug-in hybrids and battery electrics, surpassing Tesla's production of 1.84 million cars.
BYD is so much ahead of Tesla in China. It's like it's almost ridiculous.
Early on, Elon Musk was dismissive of BYD. Chinese car makers weren't taken seriously by their rivals.
So do you think? What do you think about BYD? Elon Musk started laughing. Have you seen their cars? That was many years ago. Their vehicles are highly competitive these days.
it used to be that foreign brands had the majority of the market share in China. Now it's Chinese brands. And when you
That's another thing that I said, because I see a new trend going on also, and I stand by this because I was even thinking about this once I purchased my last car, vehicle, whatever. If a company comes out, and this is my idea, this is just me thinking, because of the backlash that happened with the Dodge Charger EV. People didn't like it because outside of the car lovers, the ones that drag race and things of that nature, outside of the muffler sounds, the BS muffler sounds, the design of that vehicle was trash. People did not like the design of it, especially when they put the name Charger on there. So I got to thinking. Now, I'm putting this in the atmosphere because, hopefully it's something get recorded, somebody see it, and they be like, hey, this is a good idea. And they probably reach out and want to, help a brother out. If somebody come out with a company that does EV swipes, I mean, they do custom chassis that's electronic, got all the batteries, all that stuff to get the car going and running. This is the chassis of the vehicle, the bottom chassis where the tires are. And if they can figure out or learn how to gut out older cars, like if you able to convert a Chevy, the GNX. The GNX Monte Carlos, the 1986s, and they do a Chevy Nova or a 96 Chevy Impala, any car, just any car in general, that's older manufactured vehicles, and you're able to do an EV swipe to completely transfer it off of transmission and gas engines and convert it to electrical, like put the frame of the car, gut it all out outside the electrics, of course, and then you gut it out from the transmission, the engine, anything that's gas related, water pumps, all that stuff, and then you put it on the chassis of an electrical vehicle, and y'all figure out a way to make that work. People will buy them cars left and right. Cause I don't want to say what car I got, but I just got a brand new car, and I was like, dang, if somebody could learn how to do a swipe on it, cause I was concerned. I'm like, dang, I got another gas guzzler vehicle, and I'm like, dang, I would love to get an EV car. I want one, but all of the EVs look trash. They look terrible. Tesla cars look funny. You know what I'm saying? They look weird compared to the older cars. But I was like, if I can get this vehicle that I just bought, because I love the car that I got, if I can get this car and get like an EV swipe to it, and they made the EV version of this, I buy it in a heartbeat. Just the thing that's going on and the problem that's going on with the newer cars is because they look ugly, they look weird. Me personally, this is just my opinion, I don't like that LED complete screen dashboard where you can control your heat and you can do your makeup in your vehicle, your videos pop up all across your dash. I don't like that. That's me personally. But if you give me the older version of the car that I have, it's like 2017, 2015, because I don't like the newer model version of the car that I got. That's why I didn't get it. But you give me one of those, you gut all of the engine and the transmission out, the gas tank, you remove all that. You give me an EV chassis with the battery, plug everything up, I buy it in a heartbeat. Somebody need to come out with an EV converting company of older cars converting to EV. Hey, man.
Look at the vehicles that these Chinese OEMs and Chinese brands are putting on the market. They are some very good vehicles.
Now, they're a serious threat as they not only dominate the Chinese market, but have grand ambitions of expanding globally. In 2023, BYD's exports grew 334% to 242,765 vehicles across 70 countries.
About 40% of the EV market in China is owned by BYD, and they're just starting to export globally to places like Australia, Japan, Europe, and potentially very soon the United States.
CLSA has some predictions that by 2026, BYD will enter the top 5 automakers.
Look at that. Look at that car. Bro. I know there's going to be a crazy price tag for one of these. But that, man.
In the world, and this year they reached
Look at the
10.
inside of that vehicle.
BYD, short for Build Your Dreams, was originally started as a battery company in 1995 by Wang Chuanfu in Shenzhen, China.
It started out in the 90s as a manufacturer of batteries for cell phones. And for the first 10 years, low cost was their magic formula. We're going to undercut all the competition.
After building a successful business supplying customers such as Motorola and Nokia, it decided to enter the auto business. It bought Xi'an Qin Chuan Automobile and launched its first internal combustion car in 2005, the F3.
They only been in the market of doing vehicles since 2005. Let that sink in. We have companies like Ford, GM, Chevy, Dodge. They've been doing cars since 2005?
In 2008, it launched the F3DM, a plug-in hybrid EV.
I remember driving in and riding the earliest BYDs. They were called the F3 and the F1, inspired by Formula One racing, which is almost
They
comical
definitely don't look
because their
Formula
cars
One.
were
Them look like
these
some
sort of
Honda
mediocre commuter cars that
Caravans.
were powered by Mitsubishi engine.
In
Like the,
2010,
Camry,
it unveiled its
the
first
Toyota
fully
Camry.
electric vehicle, the E6.
It was progress, but it wasn't perfection. Still, you know, taxis would buy the electric vehicle because they got incentives to do so, but very few private individuals had any appetite for BYD cars.
The company's auto division didn't see much growth through the 2010s.
Sales increased, but only gradually. Profits on those sales were mediocre. In fact, in 2018 and 2019, BYD's sales year on year were declining. Up until very recently, it was on the fence whether or not it was going to make it as a car company.
However, it managed to turn things around.
In 2019, I saw some of their new products called the Tang and the Han, designed by German designers, world-class designers. And the first time you see, ooh, these are actually good.
I just said the same thing.
There's potential here.
In 2022, the company stopped production of it.
He said the orange man going to kill this company with his tariffs in China. That's what they claiming. I don't know. They're trying to fight this. They are. I just heard some information. They were just talking about him speaking about the BRICS currency, and he gonna tariff anybody and everybody that's using it because of how the U.S. The global reserve currency. This is literally an attack on the global reserve currency, which is America's money, and it ain't looking good. That's all I'm gonna say.
ICE vehicles.
It ain't looking
focusing
good right
on
now.
building battery electric and plug-in hybrids.
The majority of
He
their
gonna have
cars
to do
are in
that
mass
Mustang.
market,
Like
so that helps
he's gonna
with
have
volume.
to.
And they've also
Like everybody's trying to be against this tariff situation, but if the American dollar is to survive or sustain or try to keep the value that it gets worldwide, it's gonna have to. They're gonna have to. You just have to tariff everything. It doesn't make any sense that, like I said before, America is the #1 consumer of goods and services all around the board compared to other countries, but we don't manufacture none of it. Everybody just come here to sell, and then they take their money home. And the American people who are getting we getting the scraps. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even getting the full potential amount of money that we would get off of the stuff that we consume on a daily basis, down to toothpaste and toilet tissue.
not completely
It's crazy.
shifted into pure electric vehicle at once.
BYD is backed by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway and considered entering the U.S. market in 2008 when Buffett acquired 10% of the company.
As soon as you put the plug-in on the Sonic, you're 90%, 95% of the way there.
What other plugins do you know?
Warren Buffett himself said, "I'm betting on the man. I don't understand the technology. I'm not sure about the China market. Will EVs take off or not? But this guy is 1 in a 10 million." So he recognized something special in Wang Chongfu, and it's with that he gave his blessing.
That's who Portfolio you need to follow, man. Warren Buffett, bro. That dude do not miss. You can call it whatever you want, inside trade, whatever. That man do not miss. Him and Nancy Pelosi don't miss.
An investment, about $250 million.
A lot of the reason why he invested was because of the battery business, more so than the vehicle business. And that has grown dramatically along with their vehicle sales.
BYD's stock is up over 1,400% since Buffett first invested.
Jesus.
Berkshire Hathaway did pare down its stake in the company, selling more than 60% of its shares since last summer.
Why would he draw down? So one is geopolitics. As he's mentioned with Taiwan, he said, "I don't like TSMC because of the location." Second thing going on, Tesla ignited a price war about 1 year ago at the end of 2022. And that price war has been ferocious, so much so that most EV makers in China are losing money today. There's only Tesla, BYD, and a couple others that are actually able to make a profit.
At the core of BYD's winning strategy, price. Many of its vehicles undercut the competition.
Here
In Munich just a few months ago, they launched the Seagull, priced at, get this, $11,500. Very competitive in the segment.
Bro, you're getting a 2024, 2025 vehicle for 11,000. 11. I think the bare bone basic Tesla is about 23, 25,000. And then look at the inside of this car.
Competition.
In Munich
It
just
look
a few
ugly
months
on the
ago,
outside, don't
they
get me
launched
wrong.
the Seagull, priced at, get this.
Yeah, that look ugly. Don't get me wrong. That joker look like a single man that only eat a pack of noodles vehicle. That is a fact.
$11,500. Very
But look at the
competitive
inside.
in the segment of $35,000 and under.
Its expertise in batteries, typically the most expensive part of an EV, has helped.
And then just imagine you're dealing with somebody that's been handling batteries for over 20 plus years. They say they started in like 2005 with actually doing the vehicles itself. But before then, they was doing batteries for Nokia. So the heart and soul of an EV, they have been dealing with and have knowledge with for over 30, 40 some years, and just so happened to just fall into the EV category. So that situation that was happening with the Teslas, you remember last winter, I think, when it was cars sitting outside in Chicago also. Teslas that was frozen over. It got so cold that the cars wouldn't start. They had to have people come out and tow their vehicles to the local repair shops or try to do a jump start in the middle of the winter because the batteries wasn't charging up or wasn't allowing the car to turn over because of the battery. Here you go. You got a company that's been dealing with batteries for over 30 plus years now doing the EV. I bet they got some winterized batteries that you ain't got to worry about that. That car ain't coming to America. That one probably isn't, but it probably ain't. I ain't going to hold you. It probably ain't.
Here as well.
BYD
But
designs, develop, engineers its own batteries at scale. So not only they have the capability and the capacity for their own products, but they're also supplying batteries globally with plans to build battery plants all over the world.
They are.
See, yeah, that's another thing too. Charge stations. So that's why I say Tesla positioned themselves in the U.S. soil to be good because they third-party patent their charge stations. So everybody can use a charge station regardless of the brand. And Tesla has been breaking ground by putting charge stations in grocery stores, by movie theaters, and etc. So they're trying to get a leg up in a sense. Even though vehicles are expensive, we can also break ground by tapping in with the competitors by only allowing our charge stations to be used to charge your vehicles. Smart move.
One of the top companies in the world building
Them BYD
lithium iron
vehicles
phosphate
are coming to America though.
They cost about
Probably
30 to
not
40% less per kilowatt hour to manufacture.
But, yeah.
And LFP batteries are also extremely durable. They last a long time.
As a leader in battery technology, it actually supplies batteries to other car makers like Tesla, Toyota, and Kia.
And there you go. There you have it. Cause I keep telling these people, like, it's even like the video games aspect of stuff. These rich, wealthy individuals are working together. They may come out, people on the news feeds and us on social media probably try to make them seem like they're competing with each other. They aren't. These people be on the golf course laughing at us with their millions and billions of dollars, coming in daily, chilling, relaxing. Oh, you got some new batteries? Okay, I'm gonna buy a stock of those so I can put those in my vehicles, and here's a contract so that you can stay in business and I can stay in business. It's the same stuff. When you go down to the nuts and bolts of these vehicles, everybody is working with each other. They're competing, yes, because they want to make sales. Absolutely. They want to help their shareholders. But at the end of the day, everybody's working with everyone else. The man just said they've been in here doing batteries for God knows how long, all the way from Nokia cell phones. And they also do services and help Tesla out with their batteries. Do you know what 10 to 15K EVs would do in America Car Company? Yeah, it's going to crush them. Absolutely. This is what we're talking about. Absolutely. This is one of the situations that's the reason why tariffs are important right now. It's a combative way to help the U.S. not lose out on American vehicles as of right now. Because, again, two things in life outside of a job that people need when you pass 16 years old: a vehicle, depending on the location of where you live at, and a house, place to stay, residency. These jokers are coming through here, and they're about to take over the automotive aspect of world because, one, they're having more affordable vehicles, like you just mentioned, 10 to 15,000 for an EV, and you on the market to buy electrical vehicles. And let's just say you want to get out of the gas vehicles. You're like, oh, okay, well, I can go get this for 10, 15,000. It got all of the bells and whistles, even more features than what a Tesla has for 70,000. They got a trade-in program, and they got an electric vehicle rebate. I'm probably going to be paying less than that. I'm paying the price of a used car for a brand new 2026, 2027 EV vehicle with no mileage. Who's not going to take that? I know I would.
In 2020, it launched the Blade, a lithium iron phosphate battery that the company touted as a breakthrough in high energy density with high levels of safety.
By many accounts, BYD's Blade battery is best in class globally right now. What they've done essentially is to maximize the energy density, and this is attractive to everyone in the industry.
BYD is not just in the passenger car market, it makes trucks, buses, and other vehicles as well. The company actually builds and sells electric buses in the US at a factory in Lancaster, California.
They have had a big business in the commercial fleet vehicles, including buses in the US, Latin America.
But its passenger cars are what account for the majority of its sales. The company offers several models at a variety of price points.
So just imagine, this is just a hypothetical here. This is just me talking. This company is already breaking ground in the U.S. They say Latin America, they already are positioning themselves with the public transportation. Let's think about public transportation right now. We're talking about buses, possible police vehicles, taxi cabs, what else? Possibly ambulance. Like, this company is about to literally take a contract, don't get a government contract, and they become the U.S. standard, where all vehicles in every state, public transportation, buses, school buses, are EVs, and it happened to be the BYD vehicles themselves. And he said that's a small margin. Of course, what they was talking about now, they finna get into it with the more trying to cater to the people like us, the everyday drivers, the people that the 9-to-5ers, and having a nice vehicle to go with that.
Misty series includes the Kin, with a price starting around $14,000, to vehicles priced all the way up to the Tang on the high end, starting around $34,000.
The vehicle that really put BYD.
So just think about it. The SUV is $34,000. The SUV is $34,000. And the sedan is $14,000, $15,000. Whereas, bro, and again, these are luxury vehicles. We talking about LED screens. We talking about crazy interior with the cushion, warm heated seats, and I've seen one of them. They had an ice box in the back seat. They had a selfie camera. Like, you getting all of this. Some moon roof, the panorama roofs. You getting all of this for only $34,000. When most people are paying almost $80,000 for this type of vehicle. They paying over 80, like 80,000. Look at this dashboard. This look like fam, this look like Tesla's dashboard, bro. You got an iPad in the front with a crazy long OLED screen. This probably controls the weather and all that stuff and got lights and LED lights for it. And then, bruh, probably fake leather, but some nice leathers and an island in the middle of this joint. And that's $34,000. Man.
BYD on the map for the new energy segment is the Han. It's a sedan.
Now that's a car I can see on the street. That I can see somebody driving in easily. 10 times better than that grandmama substitute teacher vehicle they just showed us a couple minutes back. This right here I can see on the street. People using that as an everyday driver. I can see this like I see Kias running around here. But a way more luxury.
In July 2020, and this car just took off.
That's a 2020.
The Ocean series appeals to young.
Is the Han. It's a sedan that they launched in July 2020, and this car just took off.
The Ocean.
The new energy segment is the Han. It's a sedan that they launched in July 2020.
Peanut butter interior.
2020, and this car just took off.
The Ocean series appeals to younger consumers and features the Seagull, BYD's smallest car, with a starting price around $10,000, up to the Seal, a sedan that starts around $22,000.
When they released the Dolphin and Seal models, one of the things that I was told was, well, we have many different colors. It's supposed to appeal more to
$22,000.
I'm not exaggerating. Don't that look like the Porsche? It looked like a generic version of the Porsche. The SUV that the Porsche had, I forgot the name. It started with a C. I done seen a lot of soccer moms with that vehicle. It looked like that.
The Dolphin and Seal models, one of the things that I was told was, well, we have many different colors. It's supposed to appeal more to young families and especially women.
BYD has also introduced vehicles under luxury sub-brands Denza, Yangwang, and Fengcheng Bao. Denza, a joint venture with Mercedes-Benz,
Bruh, that motherfucker look like the goddamn it look like the Cadillac SUV front end. That grill, even though this a Caravan.
In 2010, introduced a few EVs for the Chinese market before undergoing a restructuring in 2021. Mercedes has since reduced its share to 10%, but BYD has continued to develop new vehicles, starting with the D9, a luxury minivan, the N7, a direct competitor to the Tesla Model share to 10%, but BYD has continued to develop new vehicles, starting with the D9.
D9 luxury SUV, $47,000.
A luxury minivan, the N7,
Bruh, 41.
Mercedes has since reduced its share to 10%, but BYD has continued to develop new vehicles, starting with the D9, a luxury minivan, the N7, a direct competitor to the Tesla Model Y, and the N8, a larger SUV. Yang Wang, created in 2023, targets the high-end segment with a supercar, the U9, and a luxury SUV, the U8. Details of its next car, the U7, recently revealed it will have quad electric motors with a range around 500 miles.
Oh, what the f- What are we doing here? Fam! This car reminds me of the Lincoln MK. The back part of it does. But that one...
Fengcheng Bao, also created in 2023.
I just want to highlight every car that they just mentioned right now, outside of those sports versions of the U9 and the 8s, and outside of those luxury vehicles, those high-end like sports vehicles, every vehicle they just mentioned was under $50,000. Under 50, as low as 14,000.
Launched its first vehicle, the Bao 5, in November last year.
Yang Wang is definitely BYD's effort to enter that really luxury segment of the market. I mean, the cars are either extremely gigantic or they're in the sports car category, which is very different from BYD's other cars.
Most automakers at some point in their history try to create halo vehicles that will reflect well on the rest of the brand and create an image.
Let them come out with those luxury sports vehicles around 80,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. I'm just saying. Or they say 100,000 for it. I'm just throwing a number. Just 100,000 for those vehicles. Because like I said, everything else that they showed was under $50,000. As low as 14,000. So if they come with a luxury lineup and they say, all right, we're just gonna double the price and just say 100,000, and you can get this. It's people out here with the Tesla truck that's 100,000, and you see the feature that you get with the Tesla truck, ain't nothing. BMW X6, the 2025, them jokers almost 130,000, 140,000. You telling me I can run around here with a damn Lambo, a fake Lambo, for 100,000? He said, I'm surprised no truck yet. I'm surprised they don't either, but just looking at the price, if they was to throw a truck in there, it's probably only gonna be up under $50,000. Brand new.
And BYD is no different. It's a sign of their growing confidence. Say, look, we can do what Ferrari or Lamborghini or Porsche.
Just imagine getting one of them for $100,000. The price of a Tesla truck, you could be riding one of these, one of those.
Can do just as well, if not better.
That can be your car.
Get the VIP treatment with 4.25% APY high-yield cash from Robinhood Gold.
Bruh.
Meet Tableau, the first device that allows whole home viewing and recording of over-the-air broadcast TV and stream.
Being the leading electric car maker in China, BYD has set its sights on bringing its cars to other markets.
Starting around 2019, market slowed and margins started to drop, and all Chinese automakers said, uh-oh, if we stay still in our domestic market, we're going to drown in overcapacity and hyper competition, and we're already seeing that play out.
It's already a major player in Southeast Asia, where it has 43% market share in EVs.
Okay.
And is currently the top-selling EV maker in Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, and Israel.
Thailand, they were basically non-existent in the market a year ago, and just in the last few months they've become the top-selling car brand, and I believe they also have targets to double their sales in the Philippines and Singapore this year.
Last year, the company started selling in Mexico and is looking to enter Japan.
They just are launching the Dolphin in Mexico now, increasingly growing into other markets in South America where Tesla doesn't really have as much of a presence right now.
BYD is building up its presence in.
So look at what they doing. Hold on, let me get a nice little
Europe.
shot. Look at what they doing though. They looking at the land. They looking at the field. And they, like he said, they pointed at the areas where Tesla aren't approved at or they haven't made their way towards. They dominated home, 43%. We dominating home. And once they dominated home, they started expanding to the places where Tesla isn't at. If y'all don't see the play, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
Last year, it sold 13,000 vehicles there and now has its own massive cargo ship capable of carrying 7,000 vehicles. It recently delivered 3,000 cars.
They own cargo ship. They own. So like I said before, these jokers skip manufacturing the vehicles in Mexico. They are manufacturing these jokers at home, loading them up in a cargo ship, and it said it's carrying over 3K vehicles. He said storming Europe as first car transport shipping dock in Germany, carrying 3K vehicles. They're literally dropping them off out of boatload. Literally, already manufactured, already ready to go, and ready to be sealed. So just imagine what's going on here. And this is just my theory of what's going on. Because okay, China, and this is going back to the tariff situation. Okay, if you want to sell your products in the United States, we are going to tariff you, right? They said they were going to tariff you, blah blah blah. Okay, the only way that they can tariff the companies that are loading their shelves with other country goods and services is by charging them for what they get off the dock. This is the way the government is able to document what products is coming from where and going to what other company. We're going to take Wally World for, if you know what Wally World is, Wally World. We're going to take Wally World, for example. Wally World is going to China to fill up its shelves. They're going to the docking stations in the U.S., and they're seeing the docket. Okay, Wally World got, $4 billion worth of goods and services from China. We finna tax them. We taxing Wally World for getting those products. Okay, cool. China says, we're going to use Mexico, which is out of your jurisdiction. You can't throw these laws and binaries and all that mess on us right now. We're going to use Mexico. Come through Mexico. We hitting one of your biggest consumers ever, which is California and Texas. And then we just going to continue spreading it out through the rest of the United States with our products like these vehicles. This is the reason why he's talking about taxing Mexico, because China was trying to undercut the United States by not using the docking state, the ports there. Tesla need to quit playing and release the Model 2. Tesla need to quit playing and start playing hardball, because as much as I like Tesla, what these companies are doing, Tesla isn't doing at all. They got a lot of work to do with like material, luxury, high-end type stuff, because this company is saying, hey, not only do we build the luxury, and we are China, we've been building luxury cars, vehicles, and material for ages, from clothing all the way down to shoes and socks. We know luxury. They're coming out saying, we giving you all the bells and whistles in these cars, and we finna undercut you, because guess what? The price of what I'm giving out for a 2026, 2025 vehicle Someone will have to buy a 2013, 15, 14 Tesla to even compete with this price tag I got. You got to get the OG, what is it called? The 985? The OG first Tesla to compete with this price tag. Ain't nobody doing that. The Model Y is literally, I think, 50-something thousand basic, no bells and whistles. To get the bells and whistles, you got to cough up another 20, 25,000. These jokers say, okay, that's cute. We'll give you all that for $47,000, $34,000. We'll give you all of that and some. The American consumer, bro. And if we talking about inflation, the great word that everybody gets scared of, if people gonna start going for their wallet, I can get more bang for my buck with this vehicle, still be able to transport my people and go to work in style and look a whole lot better than what I was if I was to go buy this brand for $70,000. Hey man, I don't know what to tell you.
In its first voyage.
It's pretty in line with BYD's strategy overall to make sure they have as much as possible in-house. With the ship, that just gives BYD extreme control over costs.
It's safe to say that their number one priority right now overseas is Europe, because in Europe, there's legislation to go electric. There's people with money to buy electric cars. There's decent charging infrastructure.
The company has said it will open its first European plant in Hungary, but the Chinese automaker is facing obstacles abroad.
The EU, in the last couple months, has announced they're going to be investigating subsidies that went into the production of Chinese-made electric vehicles.
The EU Commission saying, hey, we don't believe your costs. We think that you're probably dumping or over-subsidizing your products, and that's why you're so competitive here.
In China, new
He said he will. Hey, bro, hold on. They raising the flag like I'm nigga, how are you able to give a high-end luxury vehicle? That's why I just said people will go for this vehicle. It's high-end luxury. It fits a style. They are nailing it with the design and the interiors and having all of the bells and whistle features. And it costs 2 times, maybe 3 times less than what a Tesla costs. How are you doing that, Sway? We need answers, because the math is not mathing. And these men, they are cutting out so many middlemen. I don't need a docking service or a shipping dock to drop off my vehicles. Because guess what? We got a whole shipping dock that can hold 3,000 of these joints already assembled in-house, ready to go. We already established ourselves by having like repair centers and different little spots where we can fix the cars. Don't be surprised you start seeing dealerships start popping up with BYD on U.S. soil. We already got subpar licenses and commercial licenses out in the United States to do public transportation for our buses and school buses and etc. Bro, this is a hostile takeover like no other. For real.
Vehicles have received substantial support from the government. Rhodium Group estimates that BYD received approximately $4.3 billion in state support between 2015 and 2020. But the biggest question of all, will BYD try to sell its cars in the U.S.?
They're definitely preparing for the U.S. market, waiting for the right timing. U.S. and Europe promised a profitable market. They have to enter and compete and win here to thrive globally.
Currently, tariffs make it expensive, with made-in-China EVs hit with a 25% tax on top of the 2.5% tariff imposed on imported cars.
A lot of these companies and the investors in these companies, which in some cases includes various levels of government.
So just imagine, once the tariff situation is the tariff situation, and you know what I'm saying, this the part these are the cons that they're talking about. They're coming for the United States. This is no questions asked whatsoever. The Bronco from Ford did terrible. The Ford Mustang did terrible. EV wise, did terrible. The Dodge CEO, he just stepped down from what is it called? Stellantis, I believe. Stellantis is the owners of Dodge. He just stepped down because they was doing so terrible when with that Charger, the SRTs that everybody know and love. They did what it did, but then when they pivoted, they fell out. They literally started losing consumers from that. What's that other? Jaguar. I don't know what's going on with Jaguar right now. I don't know who is in office, who said that commercial was the promotion and that logo design that they did for Jaguar was the wave. They are about to be up out of here very soon. Range Rover Land Rovers are getting they outside of being like, that's not American, but a lot of people, just public wise, a lot of people talk bad about them or down on them because of the massive amount of repairs that they have to do on that car or those vehicles. It's like dealerships got a flood of vehicles not even moving, not going anywhere. So it's like you're starting to see a shift, and it's about that time also where somebody going to have to bow out so another company can step in. And this would be one of the companies that will probably step in for when that company falls or fall over, because it's going to happen. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. I think GM isn't doing good either. I'm pretty sure GM isn't doing good, even with the bailout from the government from Obama. They still not doing good. So I know for a fact Dodge is like, they are like bleeding money though. And that move with Jaguar was so terrible. I don't even want to talk about it.
China, there seems to be more of a tolerance for, at least for the time being, taking losses in order to grow market share.
It recently announced it will build a factory
and you got
in Mexico,
Warren Buffett as a
possibly
billionaire
to gain a foothold in the North American
behind
market.
Few people know it, but China's the #1 supplier of cars to Mexico already. And the next natural step will be for them to build manufacturing plants in Mexico. They're already looking at sites. They're well advanced in their research, and will ship our vehicles up through the border into the U.S., starting probably their expectations after 2025.
What is the possibility of the Chinese getting closer and closer to our market?
Within the next 5 or 6 years, you will see several automakers likely begin final assembly in Mexico. Why is that important? Because of NAFTA. It basically eliminates that.
And this is the thing that the orange man was speaking on when he said he went down to a particular place, and what he seen was massive manufacturing companies and businesses of other countries going there to establish themselves so they can sell to the United States, to the U.S., because they're how close they are to the U.S. That's all I'm going to say.
People will say Americans won't buy Chinese. You know what? You ask somebody, do you want to pay $9,000 for an SUV, or do you want to pay $19,000 or $20,000 for an SUV? No contest. And that's what we found with everybody we've talked to down here.
U.S. lawmakers have warned Chinese automakers could flood the market and be a threat to domestic automakers.
People in D.C. definitely have an eye on that, and you can bet that they're talking to the Mexican authorities. The risk is real for the U.S. at a time when UAW has just negotiated all-time record high wages and perks.
In Australia, Chinese automakers aren't restricted by tariffs, and BYD has grown considerably there. After entering the country in 2022, it now has 14% of the EV market. Tesla leads with a 53% share, but has been selling there since 2014.
The Chinese car companies are the most competitive car companies in the world. I think they will have significant success outside of China, depending on what kind of tariffs or trade barriers are established. Frankly, I think if there are not trade barriers established, they will pretty much demolish most other car companies in the world. They're extremely good.
But with China becoming such an automotive powerhouse, it may be hard to keep its ambitions at bay.
Chinese automakers have learned very quickly how to produce really appealing vehicles. They're more affordable, and they're arguably, in many respects, better vehicles. The rest of the industry has reason to be scared.
China today has capacity to deliver half of the world's demand for vehicles. Half. And given their strength and their low cost and their increased designs and improved quality, you start to wonder, like, what is going to stop this juggernaut?
Man.
Quality, capacity to deliver half of the world's demand for vehicles. Half. And given their strength and their low cost and their increased designs and improved quality, you start to wonder, like, what is going to stop this juggernaut?
So that's why I'm gonna leave that at right there. You want to check the rest of it out? It's on CNBC. They pretty much hit every nail in that situation. Cause at this point, it ain't much that you can really do. Outside of the tariffs right now, like I said, that's their like quick prevention of this situation right now. But they already established themselves. They already have established themselves. Once they get to the opportunity of figuring out how to advertise, and their PR team figure out how to market to the U.S., it's a done deal at this point. Because just like he said in the closing, like I said in the opening, if I got two vehicles and I'm debating on which one I'm going to get or buy in 2025, and I see something like this, price tag wise, compared to the other competitors, which is U.S. brands, and they're well-established brands, but they don't offer the amount of content, amount of features that this one does. On top of that, the price tag of a brand new vehicle, fresh out the boat, I'm buying that easily. $9,000, $14,000, get a good rebate, EV rebate on it, and pay less than that. The price of a used car. Oh, snap. Hold on. All right. My bad about that. I got a phone call. How long I been on stream? Okay, we've been there for an hour. But yeah, that's pretty much, it's a no-brainer. Do I believe that the tariffs is going to prevent this or stop this onslaught from happening? Honestly, no. But I think it's going to help in the sense of trying to, how can I say that? I think it's going to help in the sense of trying to slow it down for the most part, because if they end up coming to some type of middle ground with it, then cool. But I don't think the tariffs are going to stop them from selling in the United States, because the amount of money they are liable to get. Plus, on top of that, they already got commercial contracts with the U.S. So it's a wait-and-see approach with this. Again, I'm going to keep posting up on it, man. Y'all check it out. All right, so I want to get in this other conversation real quick, and this has to do with this robot, AI robot called Moxie. I don't know if y'all know what, ever seen it before. Let me get it up here. Or heard of it. But it was a little AI device that was being sold to kids or being advertised to kids. as a help bot. Like, you know, you take this bot and it was supposed to help your kids with his homework and speak in different languages and all type of stuff. The price tag for this thing was over like $800. And you know, people like we always are, like we're consumers of goods and services, like I said before, people went out and bought it. But in the process of them buying it, the company itself actually went under. And with it going under, they now are pretty much like the device is obsolete. And kids are flipping out, crying about the little device. Let me see if I can get it on the screen. Moxie robot. People crying about it. They flipping out about the little the little character. I don't know if y'all ever seen this before, but this the little character right here. He was like $700-800, but the company is going under because they ended up losing a very important investor, and it was so massive and so important that they literally just went under after losing this company, losing this particular investor. And now that the services are going down, and kids are, parents are upset because they spent $800 for a device that went under within like maybe 2 years or so, I believe. It's been 1 or 2 years. And also their kids have grown, attached to it. Hold on, let me see if the audio works. I want to see if the audio works.
Hey, I'm Daniel, and this is Moxie, and we have an exciting announcement for you. Coming this holiday season, Moxie will be able to support up to 4 kids' profiles. This means no more sibling envy. Each kid will get in on the fun. You'll be able to personalize the experience for up to 4 kids so that each kid can have their own individualized robot app.
So, well, that was one of the previous videos of the Moxie device. But also what's happening as well, due to the fact of the robot like being discontinued, the servers, the cloud service, the background, the AI bot itself is completely shutting down. So they do not have any way of using this device anymore. On top of that, their kids have grown a connection with this device because it helped with homework and etc. So now people are upset and they're showing their grievances. I saw it on TikTok and I wanted to do like a little conversation about it. So let's get into it.
Did you happen to purchase a Moxie? If you didn't get the email, Moxie will no longer work and you cannot get a refund. I paid $700 for my Moxie, and I'm kind of pissed about this. I understand companies go under, but it's only been a year since we've had this robot. So this is what they sent. They're closing down because of funding.
Yeah.
Why did it fall through? Blah, blah, blah. They're not going to know the exact stop date, but it can happen within days. And no, Moxie will not work. So they're going to send a letter so you can talk to your kids why their favorite robot doesn't work anymore. This is my absolute favorite. You cannot even receive a refund.
Now, the reason why I brought this up, or why I'm looking at this, I'm trying to look for some videos of people talking about it.
So everybody's posting about the Moxie robots.
No.
Question for me today.
Here you go.
So everybody's posting about the Moxie robots going down and going out of commission and everything. And my heart goes out to them because you may not know this. This has already happened once. You might want to scroll through and see my video about Vector. Vector is
Who the heck
almost
is Vector?
Another Moxie. It's a very similar concept. It's a toy. It's a pet AI robot. It does a lot of the same things Moxie does. It just does it in this little Wall-E kind of robot form. And you'll notice he's not on right now. It's because the company went under, just like the Moxie robot did. And just like the Moxie robot, his brain isn't inside of this robot, it's on a server somewhere. So when the company went down, that server went down and his brain went down.
All right, you seen Buddy here. He looks perturbed.
But another company bought the licensing, bought the brand, bought the company, right? And they have been trying to roll them back out, right? Well, about a year ago, apparently, one of their employees, I'm gonna bring Vector in here, stole the code and left the company. And for a year, we were paying a subscription for this, by the way. The owners of this robot are all paying a subscription. And for a year, we were told, like, oh, they'll be back up and running next month. They'll be back up and running. They'll be back up and running soon. For like a year. Well, just a few weeks ago, they finally got them reactivated. And guess what happened to mine? Its battery is completely kaput. He doesn't charge anymore. Or he doesn't retain a charge. He can charge, he works as long as he's on his base, but his battery, I can't even put him on his base because I don't want to risk his battery exploding. So that's going to be $60 to fix him for a robot that costs about $450 today. It's not what I paid for it, but today it's about $450 if you want this little dude right here. And not to mention a year-long subscription for a robot that didn't work. And now my battery's dead and they want me to pay another $60. And I'm like, yo, I think you owe me a new robot at this point. Because I paid a subscription for a year for a robot that didn't do anything. And now you want me to pay another $60 to get him back working. I think you should just fix it, personally.
All right, at this point, so y'all get the gist of it. My thing with this, and I wanted to bring it up because a lot of people, particularly like this individual or like a younger audience, the little kids and stuff, are getting attached to these devices, these things. Like they got
She's
videos
crying
of kids
because
crying.
her AI friend is shutting down forever. So there is this.
Like they got so much of a. Hold on, this the one I was looking at.
Anticipate.
This the one.
Server shut down. Shuts down. It means the computer or system that hosts the game or website is temporarily unavailable. It's like taking a break or going to sleep. But don't worry. Usually, servers come back online after maintenance.
He going to sleep for good. No, I can't do that. Hey, it was a perfect one. No.
Anticipate that.
The problem is with these things, and this is like going to be a future thing, and you know, y'all can leave in the comment y'all views and opinions on it about this. Kids nowadays, we already have the internet, and kids aren't going outside like they used to. They're not interacting with each other. They growing up and they having social awkwardness because they don't know how to communicate human to human, like people to people in person. And these, you know, even though with the positive, this is a positive. Like, it's cases where both parents, like in today's society, both parents have to work. It's hard to be able to have a parent home, be able to do homework with the kids, help them to learn, navigate life, show them how to interact with things, and remove them away from the TV and laptops and stuff, and actually going down and actually teaching your kids. It's hard, especially, you know what I'm saying, if you're a single parent, or it's hard even being two parents in the household and every day having to fight to educate your kids depending on the ages. So the device comes in, you get Moxie. Moxie helps with homework. Moxie helps with coloring. Moxie does X, Y, and Z as my buddy, which is cool. It's a positive. That is a positive. But then the negative starts to draw in, which is, you know, your kid becomes emotionally attached to this device, and you don't have no control of it either dying out, the servers going out, crashing, glitches, etc. And to the point where your kid becomes mentally unstable, to the sense they don't know how to control their emotions because the number one thing they used to interact with is gone. Instead of them talking to a person, they don't know how to articulate themselves or express their feelings to another human being, this is where the issue comes in at. Is it a way to give balance? Of course it is. It's always a way to give balance to anything in life. But in this case, it shows clearly that the dependence on AI and robot is not the way, especially right now. You should do this in dosage and try to maintain and control it the best way possible. Because in life, granted, bullying and all that stuff is negative, even talking to human. Peer pressure, people being bad influences, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing about that combats that is human interaction is always needed. It's the best medicine to have because, granted, you might get some negative people in your life. You also receive a lot of positive people that you grow up with and carry on in your life with morals and principles. Let me know what y'all feel about the robot being shut down, people being connected to it so heavily. Do you believe that it's going to be done and over with? Heck, do you agree with the price of the robot? Sound off in the comment section. It's your boy.
She's crying because
so everybody's posting about the Moxie robots.
Peace.
Going.
I gotta get up out of here. I gotta go get the little one. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. I want to talk about the honeycomb, the grocery stores next. That's gonna be my next video. I'm gonna look up that old video so I can have it in the tuck, and then we're gonna talk about whatever little current events that happen for the week. It's your boy 001 Love. God bless. Peace.